Hello and welcome back to our channel. I'm Colleen and this is Our Blessed Life. And today we're going to talk about reasons to homeschool through high school.
Love changes every heart, and any heart can change you.
So you may notice a different background today. We are still on the road. We are in Hilton Head and staying at a neighbor's condo, and I'm trying to record this on the porch, so I do have a little bit of background noise, but hopefully it will be okay. Okay, so a little bit of background on us before I get started with this video. I'm a homeschooling mom to two girls. Katie is entering 11th grade this year, and Sophie is entering 2nd grade. Also, something that probably would help this video make sense would be that Sophie was adopted from China when Katie had just finished 5th grade and was 10 years old. Okay, so I have been homeschooling now. This is my 9th year. We started homeschooling when Katie was in 3rd grade, and she has been homeschooled the entire time. When Sophie came home from China, she was in a 2-year-old, 2-day preschool for 1 year, and then I have homeschooled her ever since as well. So homeschooling in high school, it's a big deal. A lot of people are concerned about it, not sure if they should do it. When you homeschool a preschooler, no one bats an eye. If you're looking for YouTube videos, you can find them all day long on preschool, kindergarten, and even elementary school up through maybe 3rd or 4th grade. But then at some point, people seem to get a little nervous about it and want to send their kids back to public school or private school, particularly around middle school, and if they can hang on through middle school, then certainly by high school. So I'm just going to be talking about some reasons to consider just hanging in there for the long haul and homeschooling all the way through high school. Okay, so my number one reason for homeschooling through high school is because I want Katie to be grounded in her faith. And I'm primarily going to be talking about Katie because Sophie is only in 2nd grade. So it's really hard for me to picture her at this point in high school. So I'm going to be talking about Katie because she's actually already in high school, and we've already homeschooled in high school for 2 years with her. So I really wanted Katie to be grounded in her faith. And when you homeschool in high school, you can pick faith-based curriculum. You can also pick secular curriculum. You can have discussions on both sides, have really good discussions with your child. You can have a focus on the Bible. One of the things that we are doing right now is we have a focus on kind of a goal, so to speak, that we want to read through the whole Bible before Katie graduates high school. And we started that this year, and we're following like a read the Bible through a year plan, but we're probably going to stretch it over 2 years. So that's a goal for us, and it's something that's important to us. And because we are homeschooling, it is something that we can make part of our school. Another thing, as far as faith is concerned, when Katie is doing subjects in school, they all relate back to God, and she is able to see those connections back to God and back to creation. And if we are studying subjects, we are able to study both sides of them, such as evolution. The second reason that we think it's important to homeschool through high school is because of strong family relationships. So when you homeschool, you are with your kids all day long. There's no real break. That can be hard for some families, especially if you're used to having that break with sending your kids to school every day. There's a little bit of traffic behind me, sorry for that. Road noise. So homeschoolers are able to develop really close-knit families because they're together all the time. We have a side benefit as well of Gary working from home, so our whole family is together a lot. Gary does go to work, but his office is in the backyard in a room over our garage, and so he's still there for lunch and things like that unless he's traveling. The other thing is, since I'm homeschooling both of my girls, and since they have not known each other their whole lives since Sophie was adopted, it is a great way for them to be able to bond and just spend as much time together as siblings before Katie leaves the home. And that was something that was really important to me since Sophie didn't join our family until Katie was already 10 years old. Also, it's really important to me that Katie and Sophie as well, but since we're talking about high school here, it's really important for me that Katie have a close relationship with both her dad and me. We want her to come to us if there's any concerns or problems or anything going on in her life, and we want her to feel comfortable coming to us for help or guidance or anything like that. And I feel like we are able to establish closer relationships because we do homeschool and because we are used to having discussions and we're together so often during the day with homeschooling. Obviously, academics is also a concern and a focus of our homeschool. I will say that I prioritize our family relationships, my children's relationships with the Lord, and character building over academics, but I am very strong on academics as well as far as goals for both of my daughters. It's a little bit different with Sophie because she has special needs, and so my goal for her is just to help her do the best that she can and find the curriculum that supports her ability to continue to improve and learn and make gains. With Katie, you know, the academics in public school, the way she was having to learn in public school, it was not a fit for her. I honestly am not really sure exactly why it wasn't a fit. And part of the reason for that is that in the school district that we lived in, it was kind of like a black hole in her life. They didn't send textbooks home, and this was in 2nd grade. Katie had a lot of struggles with math. Worksheets would come home, but there were no textbooks, there were no lessons, nothing that I could pull from to show. You know, they were just starting Common Core math at that time. It was totally new. It didn't make any sense, and they had to show their work and they had to do it that way, so I couldn't teach her like regular math. So it was just not a good fit for her, and there wasn't a great way for me to help her because, again, not having the resources, never sending home the textbooks, and things like that. So as a result of that, with the Common Core math and all of that kind of stuff, Katie was very behind in math in 2nd grade and pretty miserable in school because it was just kind of the not being able to catch up kind of thing, and it wasn't a priority because no one was individualizing the education that the class was getting to Katie. Because that's just not what you do in public school. You're teaching to the group as a whole versus the individual student and focusing on exactly what each individual child needs. Whereas with homeschooling, we can focus on exactly what our individual children need. When Katie was able to come home, I was able to spend that summer and catch her up on 2nd grade math. And the funny thing is, or the ironic thing, however you want to think about it, is that Katie's actually an excellent math student. Like right now, she's in 11th grade and is starting calculus. And math is her absolute best subject. It was just that she needed it presented in a different way. And so, you know, when she was in public school, it was kind of that thing where, you know, she would have said, I'm bad at math. Math is my worst subject, because she just wasn't able to learn it in the way that it was being presented. And now, you know, after all of these years, she's able to use the curriculum that worked for her. And now she's an excellent math student and really ahead in math, being able to take calculus in 11th grade. Also with academics, we can focus on the curriculum that works for our kids, and we can also focus on the subjects that they like. Now, obviously, we do have to meet state standards. There are certain things that you have to teach and that kind of thing, but you also have some options. Like Katie has spent a lot of time in her high school career doing fine arts with ballet. And that is something that she was interested in, and we were able to use that as a PE credit as well as 2 fine arts credits, just because the amount of ballet that she did. She's still able to take honors classes, AP classes, she can take dual enrollment classes, and she can take CLEP exams if she wants to do that to get a head start on college while she's still in high school. So she still has all the benefits that she would have in high school academically, in a public school or a private school academically, and we're able to make those choices for her, whatever we think we need to do, kind of class by class. Katie also has time for her own interests, what she's interested in. She has time for volunteering and time to just be a kid because she is not tied to that public school schedule and the back and forth of just going to school every day. So we are able to learn through travel. So we've taken several family trips, and we've kind of based them around what we're learning that year. So an example of that is we've gone to Boston, Massachusetts, as well as Plymouth, and we've also gone to Washington, D.C. as kind of family field trips based on the things that we were learning during those years. So if you're homeschooling a high schooler or middle schooler, or if you just want more information about that, I'm going to go ahead and link my homeschooling in high school playlist up top, as well as in the description box below. And I have a lot of hands-on information, like how do you do a transcript? How do you plan in high school? And I also have things like curriculum reviews for high school and information on what we have used in 9th and 10th and 11th grade for Katie. So I will link those, and if you have any specific questions, definitely let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.